10 ways to overcome trust issues. Hi everyone, I'm Apollonia Ponti. I am your dating, relationship, and life coach, and I am here to help you master your attraction skills, build the confidence overall, and build the life and create the life that you want. And in today's video, we're going to talk about trust issues, and something that is so common in regards to relationships and life in general. And I'm going to give you 10 tools that you can use after this video to kind of regain your confidence when it comes to trusting other people in life, love, and relationships. The first tip I want to talk about is understanding in relationships that your partner now is not your ex, okay? And this is so significant because of the fact that we always look for small things that maybe our last partner might do. And if they are even the slightly notion of it being similar, we start to not trust that partner. So there's a reason why you choose this new partner, and understand that you're showing up for this, because if we live in a life of victim mentality, then we're going to create this constantly, and not pick the right partners. Tip number 2 is get clear on what you want and get clear on what you don't want. It's really important that if you've got out of a toxic relationship in your past, or you've had a partner that you've experienced in your past that gave you a lot of pain, and now you don't trust women in general, I want you to get good at understanding what you want and what you don't want. And how you do that is you write these things down, guys. You have to see it, because it has to come through when your prefrontal cortex is where we vision, and then we put it down on paper and we've got to receive it. So in order for us to know what we want, we've got to write that stuff down. So get clear on that. And this is how you can overcome some of your trust issues, because you are more empowered and in more control of making your own decisions when you meet women. Tip number 3 is think it out before you react, okay? So one of the prone things in effective communication in general, and which I've done a video about, is you have to think before you react on certain things. So for example, if you're with a partner right now and for some reason you feel as though your partner may be cheating on you or might be doing something wrong because your ex-partner did this, I want you to think it through. What is everything that you've been telling yourself? Have you been telling yourself that, oh, she's doing this, she's doing that, she's probably doing this. Okay, she hasn't texted me in an hour, so this means she's cheating on me, and blah, blah, blah. But in all actuality, this is relevant. It's a different case than you seeing her text messaging another guy or something, and on Instagram, that's a whole nother case. But if there's no hard facts and she's showing up for you and being a devoted woman to you, then at the end of the day, this is your thing that you need to think through instead of reacting on it. Because the more you react, the more you're going to push partners away. Tip number 4 is understand that expectations are the root of disappointment. So when we start to expect our partner to be, to do, to have, and to how or whatever something, then we build expectations without a common ground. So we build expectations in hopes a partner will do something, because in our mind, we want them to read our mind. And when they don't, we have expectations. So then we get disappointed and we don't communicate this. So there's a difference between expecting your partner to be at a certain, let's just say, level or certain goal in the relationship and you guys communicating about it. But if you expect your partner to do something without you communicating with them, then you're going to set yourself up for disappointment, and this is where lack of trust can be drawn. Tip number 5, which is actually one of my favorite ones, is you have to fix you before you fix someone else. And this is significant within personal growth. A lot of times we get into relationships in order to feel happier and to say, if I have this person, whatever is in me is going to be fixed. But honestly, when you get in relationships, this is when the work starts to happen for you. And if you don't do the work, you can end up putting a band-aid on top of your trust issues or any issues that you might have or any trauma you might have, and you can push your other partner away, and you're not fixing you. Because how can you fix someone else if you haven't fixed yourself, right? So that is significant and just in general within personal development, with relationships, with dating, but also when you're trying to understand how to trust people again. Because if you haven't fixed yourself, then that means that you haven't trusted yourself. So if you don't trust yourself, how can you trust anyone else? Tip number 6 is part of this is forgive and heal. Just like I mentioned in tip number 5, in order to trust someone else, you must trust yourself. Once you give there, you need to forgive and heal. Forgive through compassion, because when we bring animosity into a relationship, when we bring discomfort into a new relationship, when we bring victimhood into a new relationship, when we bring trauma into a new relationship, we haven't forgiven and we haven't healed. It's like as though, I'm going to give you an example, guys, that just came to mind. One of my clients, it was a woman, it was years ago, and she came from an abusive relationship. And now she's married, she has kids, she checks in with me every once in a while. She's so happy. Her and her husband have built a business together and they're doing so great. But before this, she came to me, and this could happen to men too. I'm just using her as an example. But she was in a very abusive relationship, okay? And I can really relate to this here. And she chose to be a victim for years. So she attracted men that were bad for her. And until she forgave, trusted her own self again, worked on her own self, and healed from that, she was able to show up as a new person and attract the husband that she has now. So understand that she was looking at men as though she was a victim constantly when she was dating. So she had to heal herself, so she looked at men in a new light. I've been heartbroken. I've been through my stuff with men, and I wouldn't be able to be an empowering coach if I didn't heal myself and forgive my past in order to show up for you now. And the same thing goes in relationships. And I'm being vulnerable with you guys because it's the truth. And in tip number 6, you have to forgive and you have to heal in order to trust again. Because understand that you are the person that controls everything in your life, and nobody else can control it for you. So what goes on here and here is what can never be taken away from you. So it's very important that you master these two things in order to create something that you really, really want. Tip number 7, understand that you are not who you were yesterday. What does this mean? This means that Apollonia was this girl that was raised in Compton in Oakland, California, and came from a poverty home, and her father was in and out of her life, and her mom had a job where she was making $15,000 to $20,000 a year, and her mom took her to college and got her master's degree while I was an infant and my mom was nursing me at home and doing night school. Okay, that's my story. But even though that's who I was and that's who my mom was yesterday, doesn't mean this is who she is today. Now she's created a life and has homes and has success in her life because she's worked for it. And she looked at herself as not being a victim anymore. She wasn't a victim of her past. I'm not a victim of my past. Everything that has happened in my life are lessons. And those are the things that how we stay grounded. And we look at our past and we look at our life as lessons that created us to become more powerful. We're always going to have the direction. It's about how we take the opportunity to really take the bulls by the horns and 10x our growth, really. And the thing about this is when we start to look at our lessons in life as our past, but aren't part of us, that's the best thing about life is every day we get to create something new because every day is a new day. So don't look at your yesterday or, the fact that you've cheated, let's just say on a girl 5 years ago, that you're going to be a cheater. No, I don't believe in that saying once a cheater, always a cheater, because people can grow. It's like that saying says that and means that people are not able to grow. If you did something bad, it means that you can't be anybody good, which is complete BS. So understand that yesterday is not the person that you are today. And don't harp on that because every day is a new day for you to wake up and really gain those trusts within yourself once again. Tip number 8 is date yourself. What we do so much is we go into relationship after relationship after relationship with relationship, and then we don't even give a moment to breathe because we don't date ourselves. We don't know who we are. I took another personal story. I'm getting very vulnerable with you guys in this video, which is funny, but I feel like it's a need for me to tell you. Before, when I was interviewing and really getting my license and so much and just focusing on me, I took it 1.5 years off of dating. I mean, I didn't even text a man. I just focused on me. I literally dated myself before I found my life partner. And that was the most beautiful thing because I got clearer afterwards. I dated with intent instead of just just blinders on. I had no vision of what I wanted before, and I had to put the blinders away and get clear in the focus and direction that I wanted. So dating yourself is a key part of this, and this is what helped me rebuild trust in myself again. Tip number 9 is understand with compassion, okay? Now, a lot of times we go into relationships and our partner might be voicing an opinion of why you're not trusting them. But understand that also your partner is a mirror for something that you need to work on. So when you communicate with them or you communicate with others or yourself, understand with the lens of compassion instead of a lens of attack, because people typically are mirrors of your own personal growth. And then last tip, the best tip of them all, and the most powerful of them all, and you will not be able to do any of these tips if you don't do this tip. And it's tip number 10. Do the work is the most important of them at all, because if you have taken anything away from this video, all these other tips 1 through 9 will not work if you don't do tip number 10, and that is to do the work. Don't cheat with instant gratification. Don't cheat with laziness. Don't cheat with expectations, and don't cheat with understanding that you think that it's supposed to be done tomorrow. Understand that it takes time, guys. It takes sometimes years. It takes sometimes months. And sometimes we want that instant gratification effect because we have it now so much in our lives. We have it in dating apps. We have it in Amazon. We have it with everything. If literally I can pull up my phone and get anything delivered to me right now while I'm doing this video. And here's the thing, guys, is instant gratification has taken up so much in our life, which comes into our minds and starts playing in our brains. So we think it's effective in relationships, and this is where it becomes challenging. So I honor you if you are able to take the time and space and understand that I've got to get clear with who I am, rebuild myself so I can trust again and overcome my trust issues, and understand that it takes work. And I want you to put in that work so you can get the best outcome that is supposed to be in your footprints. And as always, I love hearing from you. If this has spoken to you and you're having trouble with trust issues or really cultivating healthy relationships with women, I encourage you to either download one of my products and visit my product page below, or book a coaching session one-on-one with me so we can start to work on this together. I love hearing from you. Comment below, and as always, I'll see you again in the next video. And remember, you are always loved.